Good morning, everyone. Saagar, what's going on?
Well, we have a great show today. We have presidential candidate Marianne Williamson, journalist Elizabeth Spiers, the Bernie Sanders National Press Secretary, Paul Steinhauser is a New Hampshire political reporter, and an all-star panel.
It's going to be amazing.
All of that coming up today on Rise.
What are you looking at?
Well, what I'm taking a look at is Elizabeth Warren and why I so wish I could vote for her for president. Now, she released her plan for trade yesterday, calling it, "It's time for a new approach to trade." She writes, "We will engage in international trade, but on our terms and only when it benefits American families." My God. How can I donate to this woman and cast my vote? She even writes, "I'll use trade to create and defend good American job, raising wages, farm income, combating climate change, lower drug prices, raising living standards worldwide." Using trade policy in order to better America's families, in order to better our economy, it's exactly what Donald Trump ran on in 2016. And aside from the fight that he is having with China, we haven't seen much follow through. And at the same time, we have her economic patriotism plan, which was released late last month, in which she wrote another extraordinary sentence. "Levi's is an iconic American brand. The company operates only 2% of its factories here." She talks about Ticonderoga, the maker of the famous No. 2 pencil, and all of its production has moved to Mexico and China. She talks about General Electric shutting down its engine factory in Wisconsin, shipping jobs to Canada. She has her finger on the pulse. She gets it. And yet, she really doesn't get it at all. The saddest thing about Elizabeth Warren is that she is so dramatically qualified on the issues of economics, but has for some reason caved to members of the woke liberal elite. She put her preferred pronouns, she, her, in her Twitter bio. It's phony. It's pandering. It's pandering to the woke police and to these others on college campuses. She raised her hand in the first night of the debate last time whenever Julian Castro asked who would provide health care to illegal immigrants, who believes in decriminalizing illegal border crossing. She is now supporting truth and reconciliation commissions for what is going on at the southern border under the Trump administration. Immigration and pandering on these woke, ridiculous issues like gender pronouns and Twitter bios are what will be the death of Elizabeth Warren. And that is one of the saddest things to me, because Crystal, she gets it. But by pandering and by embracing these ridiculous issues, which I know that she doesn't actually believe, but she's only doing so for poll-tested reasons, I think she's sinking her entire candidacy.
I wouldn't say that she doesn't actually believe it.
Maybe.
I think she, by the way, I mean, I think she's
it's
right.
not congruent.
I think she's right on all these
policies.
issues. I think it's all a matter of emphasis. And where Elizabeth Warren is most authentic and most true, most passionate, has always been, I mean, over the course of her career, it's been on economics, right? That is her lane. That's where she's been right time after time after time. On the trade stuff, I really recommend people go and read this Medium post.
Absolutely.
Because she lays it out in a really important way. She points to a couple things that are crucial here. So the way that we've negotiated trade deals in the past is one thing that she goes after. We get basically a lot of corporate interests at the table. They write the trade deal, and then we fast track it through.
And this is exactly what Trump ran on in 2016. And what is so frustrating is that the people who believe this, the people who wrote these plans, also all pretty much universally agree we need to restrict immigration for economic reasons. And it's the one thing you're never going to hear from Elizabeth Warren. She flips it around on its script and goes in the complete opposite direction. For a woman who wrote one of the most best books on economics ever written, The Two-Income Trap, for who delves into this alternative family of economic theory, which is correct, by the way, it's so frustrating to watch her put her gender pronouns in her Twitter bio, talk about decriminalizing illegal immigration, because this is something, if she ran on that alone, she would win.
Well,
no question.
We're not going to solve the immigration thing. Suffice it to say, I think you're wrong on immigration. I don't think the problem is that we have too many people here. I think the problem is that we have a few people who are sucking up all the economic resources. That's my view. That's Warren's view. That's the Democratic view. But let's put that aside. You know, I really like a lot of the things that Elizabeth Warren lays out. She's smart. It's real. It's specific. My issue is more that because she doesn't have, to me, a theory of political change that makes sense, it feels sort of like fantasy policy making, right? Like this is great, this is wonderful stuff. It's hard to match the specificity of the plans with the actuality of getting that done.
It's a much
so that's
deeper
more
debate.
of my problem.
I totally understand. It's a much deeper debate we will get into soon.
Absolutely.
Next on Rising, what does presidential candidate Marianne Williamson say that she has in common with President Trump?
I spoke with her about why she believes our government panders to big pharma and why she thinks the current administration is only for a few people instead of all the people. Our conversation, you're really going to enjoy this one when Rising returns.